Okay, thanks, Avlesh. So some people actually have networks from which they can also hire good salespeople. Yeah. So I'll just ask a couple of questions, show of hands. So how many of you have sign-ups for SaaS product, like a 30-day trial or whatever? Right? Okay. Okay, all of you. How many of you actually have somebody calling the person who signed up within a day? If you don't have the contact, you can't call, right? So my point is, do you attempt to contact? So my point is just one, right? And I have my first salesperson actually sitting in the room, like day when we were not doing it initially. But I'll just tell you one thing before we close the sale. The month that we actually started calling the people who have signed up, we actually doubled our revenue. It was that bad. Meaning we were not calling, we were just waiting and responding to people who were emailing us or trying to call us. So we just had just one person, pick up the phone and just call everybody who signed up and just ask, okay, thanks for signing up, and like my job is to make your evaluation a success. What problems do you have? How can I help you? So that changed. So if you're not doing, I would just say start doing that. And I think in the time we will probably
one thing that really helped us was having one guy just dedicated on doing analytics for sales. So this guy did the tracking of every single lead, all the numbers, where from there is conversion happening, what's the lead source, what's working, what's not working, and things like that. So I got one guy just doing stats and maths just on sales.
yeah,
and that
it's a very
actually
valid point.
helped us in a big way.
But again, there are companies here which have tons of leads where you can do all the analysis, and I'm sure K. Suresh and Freshdesk all fall in that. There are also some companies where there are no leads or very little
It's
leads,
a problem
right?
of the
So
later stage. Initial stage, you as the founder, you have to look into the details.
okay, so let's close sales. We have only 35 minutes remaining. So what's next? Okay, lead gen, customer acquisition, right? So yeah, Aaron is going to talk about outbound, so we'll leave outbound. So let's talk. So this is marketing, right? So we are going to talk about lead gen channels. So anybody has any questions? You, okay. Question for me. See again. Okay, I'll answer the question from my standpoint. So today, as we speak, we have tens of thousands of sign-ups every month, right? So see, so I will tell you this: every entrepreneur in the first year, the number one question that we all want answers is, what is the most efficient channel for lead gen, right? What is the silver bullet? Like if I can do only one thing and generate most of the leads, what is that? I also had the question. The unfortunate answer is there is no silver bullet. There is no one channel. The hard truth is every business is different, but you also have to think hard about having multiple acquisition sources. If you don't have money, right? And I'm going to have Avlesh again talk about that, like how you can use unconventional channels, which may not be scalable, right? But you could have, see, there are only few scalable channels, lead gen channels in the world. One of them is Google AdWords, maybe SEO. So maybe if you do outbound at full stretch, you can have a scalable outbound lead gen model. But in the initial days, we did a lot of things. Like for example, there are so many directory listings. There are marketplace like Google App Marketplace, right? That used to give us 3 or 4 signups every day. Like that was enough for the early stage. So we had a site called Buy Sell Ads. We still have Buy Sell Ads, which actually allows you to do small banner ads on multiple smaller blogs. It's the long tail of blogs. So we all know about TechCrunch and all the big blogs, right? But there are so many blogs which are 20,000, 10,000, and they're all niche blogs like designer-oriented crowd or project management crowd. And you can actually spend 20. We used to have a site called listio.com where we spend $20. It will give us 40 leads per month, 40 signups, right? 50 cents. But the unfortunate thing is you can't spend more money on that. It's only $20 you can spend and you get only 40 leads every month. So, but your job, you have to find like hundreds of such sites, right? So that's what we did in the initial days. Once you have Google AdWords and other stuff, if you can compete with the by pouring in money, you can do it, and you should do it if you want to scale fast. But I would actually throw it to Paras, who is very busy with his phone, to answer this question. How do you generate your leads?
The question actually naturally goes before I answer. So I guess it really depends on the stage of the business, and to go to some of the themes that have been going around with sales as well. I think the overall sort of question, even with sales, when someone asks, how do we sell? Maybe the first question should be, whether you're selling the right product to the right person, because that's, at least when I reflect back, that hardest question to resolve, whether I'm doing sales correctly or whether this is a product that nobody wants. Because in a lot of cases, the opportunity might be so niche, or the opportunity might be so different, that you're just trying to force a product that nobody wants. So if, like, within initial first 10 or 15 interviews or calls you realize nobody really cares about, maybe you should question whether that's point to pivot or not, because you can't do a terrible job at sales and not convince anyone within first, say, 15 to 20 calls.
Paras, I have a joke here. I'm reminded of a joke. You can't convince them, confuse them. Right? So how are you generating leads?
Yeah. So that's a good one. So we started with content marketing, and again, content marketing really means producing great content and putting it out there. But the key thing was to not talk about product at all. The key thing was to talk about the problem the product solves, and that's when I started writing about A/B testing, putting it out there, and it generated a lot of interest. Today we do a lot of co-marketing, and that means once we have generated enough sort of user base, we go to people and say, hey, do you want to market to our user base? They say, why not? And then we use other people's user base. And having said that, so just to reiterate this kind of stuff you were talking about, right there from social to content, to AdWords, to just tweaking some titles for SEO benefit, there's this whole bunch of hundreds of things that have worked. Maybe as a founder, you really have to see what you are best at. Whether you are best at content, or whether you are best at talking to people and selling them into, or fooling them into believing that you are an expert at industry and getting on calls with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the most important thing that everyone should do is, I think most of the time the SEO portion is very underutilized, under-tapped, right? So many of the companies may not even have a dedicated SEO person doing SEO all the time, everyday basis. So one of the first things we did, we were surprised that 2 years ago we had basic SEO done, but then once we had one dedicated person, we identified some 80 odd keywords, and first we did a baseline where these keywords are ranking in organic. That's the very first step we did. And once we did that, we were in for a surprise. Some of our most important keywords are not really coming even in the first page. Then we had a person actually add content to support all those keywords in terms of our blog, plus write off-page SEO in terms of backlinks, building that. Just by doing this, we were able to increase our organic signups to thousands of signups a month. Just by doing this alone. Today we have more than 1,000 signups coming, thousands of signups coming only through organic. So without paying anything to Google AdWords, right? That's one thing that we did. second thing which worked well for us is Google Marketplace. We were actually #1 in Google Marketplace. So once you are in #1 in anything, in any marketplace, the number of leads you get from that when compared to the #2 will be a factor of 10. So if you get 100, the #2 guy will actually only get 10. So that's the kind of effect we got. So we got #1 in the marketplace. So which means the directories actually started working very well for us. So and then we realized we will replicate the directories concept going beyond Google Marketplace into other directories. So and the other directories started working again well for us. So these are some of the things that we did. I mean, other things have been said, things that work for us. These things actually work for us.
So Suresh, one thing you mentioned about SEO. So now post some of the recent changes which has happened in Google search algorithm in last say 1 year or 2 years, the way to do the
don't do black
optimization-
hat SEO.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's going to kill you. So you need to legitimately, it takes time. You
So
can't,
how-
there is no shortcut. So you need to have a person write the content. You can't do more than 2 or 3 backlinks per day. So if you try to do more than 2 or 3 backlinks per day, Google will start becoming
So are
smarter.
the backlinks working unless it is from a very good source? And are you able
look
to
at
get
page
that?
rank, for example,
Okay.
domain authority and page rank for every site, right? So, like before doing SaaS marketing, I didn't even know what is a page rank or what is a domain authority. So, as a founder, you end up learning all these things because you have to manage a SEO person. They come with the background, but then you also need to apply slightly at a founder perspective to that, right? So, you got to learn all that stuff. Sorry, you were.
So see, we actually got very badly hit because of Penguin and Panda, and after that we kept on getting hit.
No,
so we were in,
didn't face that problem. Actually,
and after that we could not recover. So
Oh,
one of
really?
our major sources actually got disrupted. So I would like to know from any of you, if any of you got hit by Penguin and Panda, and then the next update,
no.
were you able to recover? And if you could recover, what was your way to recover from that?
Yeah. No, I personally, we didn't face that problem. Anybody else who faced that problem? Okay.
Okay, I think the SEO detailing can take offline.
Fine, okay.
So because it's not. So Shekhar has a point. Sorry. Dorai, why don't you tell?
I think what will really benefit is we already mentioned a few things, right? If you have one other idea, everybody quickly just talk about one idea, and then we can gather a whole bunch of them, and then if we can dig into some details later.
So, and I also wanted to kind of just broadly categorize the themes that we saw. So if there's no money, like we learned about Quora, we learned about so all the sites, directory sites which you can list. So there are a lot of sites that you can go and list, and if you have some money, I told banner ads and stuff like that, then you look for scalable channels if you have money. So Shekhar has a very important, interesting point that comes before lead gen, where he has met so many entrepreneurs where he thinks the problem is not lead gen, it's something else. So
Yeah, so this is Shekhar, iSpirit volunteer, and also my day job is as an investor in Axel. I think most of the time everybody focuses so much on the lead gen, the channels and so on, but get to forget whom am I going after. And most of the entrepreneurs I meet can't define, whatever stage they are, tell me your prototypical customer. And that's where, it's very amorphous. And earlier in the game, narrow, you can define the customer. Then you can target them better. Even your outbound email or a personal email or a friend connection. Narrow you can define, it is a lot easier to reach them. Once you build that, if your product is very horizontal, you'll struggle through a lot more. Figure out which vertical, which narrow segment, who could use this product, and define them better and their value proposition, and work from backwards from there is a better way to think about. And almost always I see that everybody talks about everything else except that who is my potential customer with as many colors as possible.
in other words, what you're saying is, I should be able to do a LinkedIn search and bring 100 leads whom I can actually send personal emails to, right? Yeah, but that's predictable revenue. What? Okay. Okay, so
Adding a question, I mean, there's a channel which I've seen someone like Avlesh using, which is like having plugins on other sites like say Shopify and so on, right? Just curious how that works out. We have sort of stayed away from doing it till the customer asks us for it, but just want to understand how it works.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up any which ways. The plugins pretty much constitute 20% of all our signups. We get around 1,100 a month now, total. Out of which 20% is plugins. We have plugins for WordPress, Magento, Shopify, BigCommerce, pretty much all of them. It's an ecosystem. We didn't wait for customers to do it. There are two aspects to it. One, you have to figure out how simple and easy your plugins are going to be. We have done a real bad job there. All we have done is made the integration easy. Now we are actually making the plugins easy. So there will be fully resident plugins sitting in that ecosystem without them ever having to know or see WebEngage dashboard. They can just do it all within their own ecosystems. Takes time, but we know the value of it. And our plugins will now constitute close to 40% after that. They are a source of discovery. Each plugin has its own repository. You list you know, somebody was talking about listing, Suresh was talking about it. You list, which means you get a page, which means you can put all sorts of garbage on that page, which means people who don't even know you can now actually discover you if they had a pain that you solve. And the beauty of that is amazing. It takes time for your rankings to grow, for you to kind of, you know, show up. A lot of cool hacks here and there for different platforms. We'll share more offline. But it's a very good and sustainable channel, especially for a product like us.